Now I want you to challenge me on this, but suffering all the time, being angry all the time, being frustrated, stressed all the time is not normal. If you think it's normal, please tell me how. Please tell me why it's normal. It seems like the majority of us are going by like it's okay to be frustrated at something. Whether it's road rage or whether someone said something at work or whether you are annoyed at a family member saying something, or like, what is this perpetual loop of constant suffering that we attach ourselves into and we drive ourselves towards it? It's absurd. It doesn't make any sense. Now, the reason why we have normalized this in our life is because if someone says something nasty about you and it really annoys you, there's this common perception that this is the normal way of reacting to this. And that's simply because the majority of people are reacting in this way. And the problem with that is if you look at the mainstream way of living life, the mainstream way of acting and being, if you then look at the way the entire planet is heading towards, clearly correlates in the fact that it's not heading in a good direction. So us as human beings, we are not acting in the optimal and ideal way. Now, I'm not saying this for you to get annoyed at yourself for being annoyed and just reinforce the turbulence that's already there. I want you to firstly realize that it's not normal to begin with, to always be annoyed and always have this particular reaction. And then I want you to realize that it's possible to change the way you react to things. And that change can actually tremendously change your life. Because your reactions, in a way, is you accepting the reality in that form. So if your reaction is always an angry reaction towards a particular event, then you have accepted anger as a norm to being, to reacting to existence. And existence is always portraying itself with different cues for us to react to. Now, if you're sitting there and saying, yeah, but just some things in life you just can't change, that's absolutely correct. You can't change these things in life. But if you're sitting there and thinking, what if someone says so-and-so to me and annoys me or hurts me, I'm supposed to not react? No. That's not what we say either. You know, everyone will always have these like extreme viewpoints, but there is a middle ground that we can observe and look at and realize that's actually the most peaceful, free-flowing way of being. Don't change events. Don't change what has happened. Change the way you react. Let me give you an example. Let's look at beauty. You know the whole saying of beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. I can't force you to think that these trees behind me or the bench I'm sitting on is absolutely beautiful. And that's okay. But the point is that don't sit there to try and force yourself to say that this is beautiful. Instead, change the opinion of what you think beauty is. And that in itself just suddenly dissolves your opinion. It dissolves it away, and all of a sudden, this bench or garbage could somehow seem beautiful. And I'm being serious. Some rubbish mixed with leaves flowing in the air can seem so beautiful. It goes back to this whole thing of you subscribing to what the majority of people think is normal. And believe me, the majority are living in an abnormal way. So let go of these crystallized lenses that you've put in front of the way you view life, in front of your perspective, which warps it in the shape of the majority. If you let go of this, suddenly there is clarity, and suddenly everything becomes beautiful. And everything else next to that beauty is just an opinion. It's just some noise. What there is what there is. And it's up to you to view it as it is, or it's up to you to view it as your opinion, or the way your opinion shapes it. Now, I want you to challenge me on this. Throw me some scenarios. Give me an example that is impossible to change the way you react to it. Now, just to summarize, I am not telling you to be overly reactive to absolutely everything. I'm not telling you to reject your reactions as they come. Observe them and realize what your reactions are. And then change can be implemented. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be reactive to anything either. Just be aware of the reaction that is instilled in you, and then see if there is space to change that and change it accordingly, in accordance with what is truly perceived. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this is somehow giving you some insight to change your life for the better. This is the Spiritual Walks, and we are walking towards freedom.